We'll never settle for second best. The fight has just begun. We'll find the strength to win the race. Take each by one. Partners in this journey, and we each must do our part to live success, to give our best, to show the world that we will stand with one voice. We know success is a choice. We're gonna make some noise. We're gonna reach within to find the passion inside. We'll climb the mountain of time. We're on the ride of our lives. We've made up our minds to success. Choose success. Choose success. Choose success. Choose. Gonna choose success. Choose success. We stand with one voice. We know success is a choice. We're gonna make some noise. We're gonna reach within to find the passion inside. We'll climb the mountain of time. We're on the ride of our lives. We've made up our minds. Choose success.
What do you think? Are we going to achieve success? I'm going to talk to you just the next few minutes based on what we want to accomplish at this meeting. But bigger than the meeting is what we want to build SAMS into. And that is a world-class organization. First of all, the productivity loop, each of you have to understand how you impact that. You will see different facets of that as you go through the meeting. It's going to be very important you pay close attention and understand how to drive that. Second point, expectations. As you look at our business today, and I guarantee you before you leave Tampa, you will definitely understand that our expectations are changing at Sam's Club. We want to contribute. We want to be a world-class organization. Lowering expenses. I want everybody to write this down. We have to take $86 million out of our costs next year. When we say $86 million, that sounds like a lot. When we get done with this meeting, you'll understand, and I'll try to help define it even better, how we're going to get at that. And it is very doable, and we'll show you how to do it. Last and certainly not least, everything pulls together. As Mark said, Walmart gave us the productivity loop, and at Sam's Club we also want to add leadership, because that's what makes the whole thing work. It's leadership. And that's what this meeting is going to start us in the direction of. As Mark told you, we have great people. We want to continue to develop them, and we want to build a world-class organization.
Our most important tool is going to be what Cliff's introduced to you, and it's the productivity loop. You're going to hear a lot about this over the next several days. And it's so fundamental to our success, we really want to deliberately spend a lot of time with you on it. The productivity loop is a deliberate effort to increase sales via lower selling prices as a result of lower expenses.
We have $86 million we need to cut out of our expenses this year. And you look at the last 2 days and what we've gone through in our rotations and trying to help you get at the $86 million. But I want you to understand something. It's going to be very, very important that we track our expenses. We stay focused at productivity and standards. And we've got to make sure we stay in close contact with expense management. What if every club in the company overspent their payroll by $100 a day? And that can happen. I've been into several of your clubs. We do a lot to look at our expenses. And somebody might say, well, Jim, it was just $100. Think about it from a big picture standpoint. $100 is $198,000 for our company.
We as a management team decide to look at our business and take out the non-value-added parts of our expense structure. These are things that don't add any value to our members, don't do anything to improve the shopping experience, don't do anything for the safety of our partners. And look at those and just shed those expenses out of the business. We then take those savings and we take it to our member in the form of lower prices.
Our goal is to give you an additional 100 items a month that we'll roll back. Pretty good, isn't it? One of the first steps that we did is we took the buying allowances out of the profitability, and we took it out of the pricing, and we gave it to the members.
But we're going to lower expenses, which is going to give us the opportunity to lower our prices. And what we're going to do is we're going to lower our cost of goods, we're going to drop our retail the same, maintain margin, but we're going to be a lot more powerful out there in the market.
If you went through the merchandise sections, I think you saw a lot lower pricing, did you not? Is that going to be taking care of your members?
Now, what do you think happens when you reduce the retail on a product? Sales go up, right?
Our budget is $22.8 billion this year. Let's go ahead and round that up to $23 billion.
We have a 15% increase in membership revenue planned. And that is not a stretch goal, folks. That is a realistic expectation. $541 million. We're increasing our revenue this year $70 million. Now, at first, we were kind of challenged by that number. We thought, whoa, that's a huge increase. But then when we laid out the Better, Better, Better program, we looked at the structure, we looked at all the components, the math works. This is meeting expectations. This is our year. We have set the framework in place to have an exceptional year this year.
Private label rollout. This is probably the most exciting thing that I've seen happen along for merchandising Sam's in a long, long time, and I am so glad to be working with this. 10% of our sales, that's what we want it to be. If we do $22 billion, within 2 years, we want this to do $2.2 billion of our business. We came up with this logo after looking at several possibilities, and this was a long time. We had to come up, first of all, with a name that would work. What we came up with is what you see up here on the stage. It's Members Mark. It's got the big gold blazing in with the red background and the quality check, and that's what we're going to live with. And I hope that you all like it. We think it's a tremendous improvement.
We're going to drive a lot of volume through our Members Mark, and we're going to keep it in the right items, and we're going to keep it in the items that the members want.
It's very, very important that we drive sales per square foot. You got to do it through items. If you can't get excited about the items that are out here, it's going to be very tough for you to be successful in our business. Our Millennium Quest will be to achieve $31 billion in sales in 4 years. That may not be high enough. That should be our minimum. That should be our expectation of what we want to achieve. If we have that focus on the productivity loop and a sincere commitment to it, this is where we will be.
We've dubbed this project the Millennium Project. We think this is a big deal for our business for 2 reasons. One, it's going to allow us to rethink this business from start to finish. It's going to allow us to take a really fresh look with a clean piece of paper on what do our members want to buy, what services do they want, how do they want them presented, and in what kind of environment do they want to shop.
Each and every Millennium Club has got to be able to do $150 billion per location.
You can only lead if you first make the commitment yourself. See, we're not asking you to comply with something. We're asking for your commitment.
If you're going to succeed at Sam's, you have to succeed as a leader.
The major factor is our leadership commitment. It's up to all of us. It's our responsibility to take and accept that challenge.
We need to behave like the leaders that we are. You know, unless you're the lead dog, the view never changes. So we need to act like a leader. And most importantly, we need to choose success. Now, what is success? It means starting with revenue, sales growth. The benchmark we put out there for ourselves is 10% growth. It means earnings growth of 15%. And that's very important for two reasons. One, because we need to make sure that as we build our revenue, we build it profitably, but also, quite honestly, we need to be at the table as an equal partner with every other division of Walmart in driving corporate earnings. 15% is the commitment that we've made to our shareholders as a company. Anything less than 15%, that means that Sam's Club is not an equal partner with other parts of Walmart. Driving sales and driving earnings are membership growth. There is a direct correlation in our business, and you know this, a direct correlation between membership and sales. And last but not least, and we're going to talk a little bit about this during the course of the next several days, is return on investment, 20%. That means when Walmart investors give us their precious money to invest, we invest it wisely and in ways that returns that to them in a way that they're happy with that investment.
Sam's can do or be anything that we want to be, but we've got to be willing to do what it takes to make that happen.
Sam's Club should not hire one person without them having a PhD. I know what you're saying. He said, what, do I have to go back to 8 years of school to get a PhD? No, I'm not talking about it in terms of academics. I'm talking about a PhD being poor, hungry, and driven people, because those are the people, not PhDs from an academic standpoint, that are extraordinary.
Talking about winning. Talking about beating our competition.
You've got to deserve to be successful. This group, all of you are positioned to do something that no one else in the world could do. You've got the resources, you've got the talent, you've got the leadership, you've got the locations, you've got all the necessary ingredients to be the greatest wholesale club company in the history of the civilized world.
The way to win today is to get people to deserve it, build up their self-esteem, and be 98-2. What's that mean? Always be positive. 98% of the time. 2%, there's that self-doubt that always creeps in all of us. Then you shrink that down to the size of a pea, and you make the 98% as big as the sky, because that's your belief.
There is a day of accountability. And that's another point that I think is wonderful that you're covering here, and that is accountability. Next year, we will know what you've chosen. Matter of fact, we'll know before the end of the year what you've chosen. You will know what you've chosen.
Pressure is the best friend you have in life. It makes you rise earlier, stay up later, innovate, get creative, change your ways, and perform at your highest level.
I'm asking you today to commit to joining me and turning Sam's into a world-class organization.
shining sun.